Hello, it's Nicole Witt, your miracle mentor, and thank you for joining me today. Today we are looking at A Course in Miracles, Chapter 1, Section 3, or Section 2, Section 2, Revelation, Time, and Miracles. So let's get started. I'm just going to go ahead and start reading, and then if something pops into my brain to say from Spirit, then I will say it, and yeah, we'll just see what happens. So here we go. Revelation induces complete but temporary suspension of doubt and fear. It reflects the original form of communication between God and His creations, involving the extremely personal sense of creation sometimes sought in physical relationships. Okay, I'm going to stop there because at very beginning, revelation induces complete but temporary suspension of doubt and fear. I don't know, if you've ever had that experience. I feel like I have had experiences where there was a suspension of doubt and fear, for sure. That moment of like, oh, I see, I get it, I completely understand. Okay, no doubt, no fear, everything is clear. Got it, good. And then before you know it, right? It's temporary. It's not, it was an experience that I wasn't able to bring back in. But because I know that it's there, I notice when I'm not there anymore. I remember that moment of clarity of, oh yeah, I totally get it. No doubt, no, like I feel it, I understand it. And then even though I forget and I get back into the world and I get lost in doubt and fear, I remember that feeling. I remember I had that feeling. And so it's always leading me back, saying, yes, I remember, I remember, I remember. And so now he's saying that this feeling is often what we're looking for when we look for physical relationships with other people outside of us. Physical closeness cannot achieve it. Miracles, however, are genuinely interpersonal and result in true closeness to others. Revelation unites you directly with God. Miracles unite you directly with your brother. Okay, so we are in this world where we believe that we're bodies, we believe that there's brothers outside of us, and the miracle is what unites us with them, which shows us that we are all one. We are not separate people. Neither emanates from consciousness, but both are experienced there. And he's talking about revelation and miracles. Consciousness is the state that induces action, though it does not inspire it. You are free to believe what you choose, and what you do attests to what you believe. Right? We have free will, we can believe whatever we want, and then our consciousness, which inspires actions, leads us to take action that it attests to what we believe, based upon what we believe. Paragraph 2. Revelation is intensely personal and cannot be meaningfully translated. That is why any attempt to describe it in words is impossible. Revelation induces only experience. Miracles, on the other hand, induce action. Okay, so again, miracles are about action. They're changing our perception towards our brother. There's an action that we're taking. They are more useful now because of their interpersonal nature. In this phase of learning, working miracles is important because freedom from fear cannot be thrust upon you. Revelation is literally unspeakable because it is an experience of unspeakable love. Okay, so he keeps going back and forth. What's the difference between revelation and miracles? That's kind of what he's really setting up here. And that revelation is that experience of God, that unspeakable love. And that's really why it's so hard to put into words, right? It's those experiences that poets try to write about and songs are written about, which also why sometimes they're called love songs or love poems. And we think that they're about other people, but it's really about the experience we want with God, which remember he talked about in paragraph 1. So that's revelation, and then miracles are what happens between us as people, between me and my brother, between I thought this was this way, now I'm changing my mind and seeing it a different way, and it inspires my action towards that brother. Maybe I don't attack them anymore, either with my words or my thoughts, because I've changed my mind about them. So paragraph 3. Awe should be reserved for revelation, to which it is perfectly and correctly applicable. It is not appropriate for miracles because the state of awe is worshipful, implying that one of a lesser order stands before his creator. You are a perfect creation and should experience awe only in the presence of the creator of perfection. The miracle is therefore a sign of love among equals. Equals should not be in awe of one another because awe implies inequality. It is therefore an inappropriate reaction to me. And by me, remember, this is Jesus. So he is saying that awe is an inappropriate reaction to him. An elder brother, who Jesus is entitled to respect for his greater experience and obedience for his greater wisdom. He is also entitled to love because he is a brother, and to devotion if he is devoted. It is only my devotion, again Jesus, that entitles me to yours. There is nothing about me that you cannot attain. Okay, so Jesus is saying there is nothing about him that we cannot attain ourselves. He goes on to say, I have nothing that does not come from God. The difference between us now, between Jesus and me and you, is that I have nothing else. This leaves me in a state which is only potential in you. Okay, so we have all these other blocks, all this other crap in our mind that now it is our job to purify. Remember the Principles of Miracles talks about purification is necessary first. So that's what we're doing. That's what the course is about, purifying all the crap in our mind so that we are clear, just like Jesus was. He is saying that that is a potential in us, but right now it's only potential because we have too much in the way. Paragraph 4. No man cometh unto the Father but by me does not mean that I am in any way separate or different from you, except in time, and time does not really exist. The statement is more meaningful in terms of a vertical rather than a horizontal axis. So a vertical rather than a horizontal axis. You stand below me and I stand below God. In the process of, again, like this, right? In the process of rising up, I am higher because without me, the distance between God and man would be too great for you to encompass. I bridge the distance as an elder brother to you on the one hand, and as a son of God on the other. Okay, so he's telling us right now that this is his kind of his job, his function is to hold our hand and bring us to the light, to God, and that without him, without that helping hand, it's really far, and it's could be really hard. And so why would we want to do that? We have somebody reaching out their hand to us to help us. My devotion to my brothers has placed me in charge of the sonship, which I render complete because I share it. This may appear to contradict the statement, I and my Father are one, but there are two parts to the statement in recognition that the Father is greater. Revelations are indirectly inspired by me, Jesus, because I am close to the Holy Spirit and alert to the revelation readiness of my brothers. I can thus bring down to them more than they can draw down to themselves. The Holy Spirit mediates higher to lower communication, keeping the direct channel from God to you open for revelation. Revelation is not reciprocal. It proceeds from God to you, but not from you to God. Right, because now he's talking about this timeline, this line, right? So it's always coming down this way. We don't send revelation back up. It comes from God to us through the mediators. That's not what the word I was going to say, but we'll use that, of Jesus and Holy Spirit, right? Okay, last paragraph. 6. The miracle minimizes the need for time. In the longitudinal or horizontal plane, the recognition of the inequality of the members of the sonship appears to involve almost endless time, right? So the timeline we're used to, the one that goes like this, it seems like it's going to take a very, very, very long time before we figure it out, right? We all figure out the truth. We're all figuring out we're one. It's already been taking a long time. It seems like it's going to take a really long time going forward. However, the miracle entails a sudden shift from horizontal to vertical perception. This introduces an interval from which the giver and receiver both emerge farther along in time than they would otherwise have been. The miracle thus has the unique property of abolishing time to the extent that it renders the interval of time it spans unnecessary. Okay, so what he's saying is at one point here, when there's a miracle, it's like all of this other stuff isn't needed anymore and kind of get placed back over here, both the miracle giver and receiver. And that whole chunk of time, that forgiveness lesson, is no longer necessary. If you've read Disappearance of the Universe by Gary Renard, he talks about this when he talks about the two movies and the choice and not getting in the accident. And he was told that was because he's done so much forgiveness work, he no longer needed any of that time. He can kind of skip right over it. There is no relationship between the time a miracle takes and the time it covers, right? So it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. You can still jump far ahead. It doesn't matter how long it takes and how long it covers. The miracle substitutes for learning that might have taken thousands of years. It does so by the underlying recognition of perfect equality of giver and receiver on which the miracle rests. So, because in that moment, that miraculous moment, that change of perception, there's an acknowledgement the giver and receiver are one. And that's what this long timeline is trying to teach us, right? That we're all one. So in that moment when we have that oneness, even if it only lasts for a moment, we clear out, right? Learning that could have taken the world another 1,000 years. But because we're all one and we're all mind, even if it's in our mind, it's having an effect. It does so by, okay, I read that already. The miracle shortens time by collapsing it, thus eliminating certain intervals within it. What I was just saying. It does this, however, within the larger temporal sequence. So the larger temporal sequence is the script is already written. The time is set. We don't know. So we're like working with miracles in our concept of time within the larger temporal sequence that maybe we can't imagine or have any idea, really understand it. So I hope you enjoyed my reading of that section of Revelation, Time, and Miracles. And we will be going on from there. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Love you.